Final gates to open to a new tomorrow. Moving with the motion, following the light that sets me Final gates to open to a new tomorrow. Moving with the motion,
Buen tomato más dead.
Hello and welcome back everybody to the Vortex Racing League inaugural season. We're headed into another wonderful round. Let's take a look at the calendar and see where we've been and what we're going to be up to for the remainder of this championship. It's round 9. We're in Great Britain. Next up is going to be Belgium, Netherlands, Mexico, Las Vegas, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi to round out the championship at the end of April. But we've been to Australia, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Miami, Italy, Spain, Canada, and Austria. Those 8 rounds to get here. Let's take a look at the points as well. It'll be Reese, BFR, and Papa Green and Alpine in front of the Red Bull team. And then Aston Martin with Buki and Sulce in the team standings 1, 2, and 3. For the driver standings, it'll be Papa Green and Reese VRL leading the charge, then Manila Man in 3rd, then Buki in 4th, Muffin Brand in 5th, McSpeed Maverick detained its domain, and Ian Mack will round out the top 10 drivers. As you can probably tell, it's a little moist out here tonight. It's a tad bit moist out on the racetrack. So I expect to see quite a bit of kerfuffling going on, some oopsie poopsies, if you will, and some mistakes being made, and mistakes almost being made there for FCN, coming out of pit road, getting on the loud pedal, and getting squirrely already. Avoiding the rejoin because it looked like the Red Bull was on a lap. That'll probably be what it do out in front, but caution's already in sector 1, and we'd see FCN for life really just working the wheel to try to keep this thing in a straight line. The drivers are going to have to basically keep the throttle pedal applied right around 60%, and then until they get it pointed in a straight line, then get on to 100%. Drivers are also going to have to avoid the dry racing line because in the rain, the normal racing line has a lot of rubber buildup, which becomes extremely slippery to drive on. So you brake and turn slightly offline, you place the car a half width wider in the corners. Crunch Munch struggling a lot now. Not even the cops yet, and he is struggling to keep it pointed in a straight line. That was the exit of Woodcott. Now he gets through cops, and now the entrance to Maggots and Beckett's. This is where you got to be extremely smooth in these wet conditions. To really not unbalance the car or unsettle it in any fashion. What a do stitches together the first purple lap of the session. A 148.724, now stolen away by Muffin Brand, 148.415 that time around. And looks like the Haas of Gitmamau is able to go up into pole, 147.289 for Git. Grossmunch gets a time in, but it's not really indicative of much. A 2:11.9 sighting lap. Papa Green 157.0 needs to shave off about 10 seconds to get where he wants to be in the lead of the championship as well, alongside his teammate in pink as well. 12:12 remaining in the session, folks. Plenty of time for the drivers to get one stitched together yet. Reese VRL, Apple CM, Sauce, Moza Army, and SD Buki still down in pit lane. Wonder what that's about here. It's Bear 146.158 that last time around for the Williams driver. Will snatch away the provisional pole position, but expect to see a couple of drivers go quicker as the session goes on and they heat up their tires. Papa Green heats up their tires very well for that third lap of running a 146.114 that last time around. Now it's Bear trying to snatch away pole position yet again, about a 10th down from where they need to be. They only need about half a 10th right now to separate themselves from Papa Green. A lot of wheel spin you heard there from whomever was out in front of the Williams driver. It'll be 2 seconds up right now for Bear, so not looking good for the man in blue tonight. But what about this man in blue and orange? Manila Man trying to do better this time around, getting through Maggots and Beggots Chapel Curve. Sorry, that was Vale and Club. Down the Hamilton straight we go. And into Abbey Farm Curve. And we're going to finish things off at Village and the Loop, where we get on to Antry. Manila Man actually throwing down a really good time right now. Might be able to snatch away a front row start potentially if he keeps up with the pace that he's got going right now. Oh, just in a blink of an eye, he could have had it, but 2/10 back from that pole position. Darn, oh man, it could have been close for Manila Man. One tiny mistake, and then we have drivers that are a second or further back in P4. So interesting that these three drivers have figured it all out. And McSpeed, I say that a little too soon, because now McSpeed goes the fastest of everybody, 144.853 improves as the track grips up. 1.2 is the mark back to Papa Green, and I imagine everybody is going to come back out of the pit boxes and try to set another lap. Papa Green now with his 143.174 that time around, looking to improve here in Northamptonshire. It's Bear on an outlap, Git on an outlap, Detains on an outlap, Ian Mack, Said Sue, Moza Army. Everybody that was sitting idly by for the first half of qualifying is now out on the racetrack. Are those actually intermediates for McSpeed? Those are intermediates. I think everybody now switching over from the full wets to the intermediate compound tires as that dry line has formed up. And there is McSpeed's time. 2 seconds back at that last time around. Obviously a build-up lap to something better. Oh, and there's a Ferrari off in front of McSpeed that probably will slow him up. That has to be Moza Army. Just 6 minutes remaining in the session, folks. Here at the track, that's 3.6 miles or 5.8 kilometers long. It was founded in 1948. It's been the current layout from 2020. We are located in Northamptonshire, England. We've got 18 corners in total, 8 to the left and 10 to the right, with 30 feet of elevation change. Owen McSpeed is off. Muffin Brand goes up into P2 for now. And let's check out Bear, because I have a feeling like he might be the one to throw down with the front runner of Papa Green right now. Bear, 0.8 improvement found. That's only through the first sector. Now, coming through sector 2 is where things get a little bit tricky. Out of Woodcott, onto the back straightaway, into Cops, where things get a little bit spicy. And on through Maggots and Beckett's and Chapel. Now, coming down the hanger straight, the run down into Stowe, getting on the loud pedal. It leads to a little bit of wheel spin and a brief lockup for Bear. Leads him to go a little bit too deep into Club. It's Bear does find major improvements on that lap, leaving him just 0.2 back from Papa Green. Tains into pit lane. Where is Reese? Why has Reese not put together a lap yet? Maybe just due to track limits, but right now running a 1:10. I don't think this lap is going to be any good for him. And he's only going to have a few minutes remaining in this session, so He's gonna just have one more opportunity left. He's really got to put it together right here, right now. God forbid any cautions come out and ruin his lap, or he gets in the way of traffic, but let's see what Reese can do. Oh, and that was a lap for Reese, a 1:42.860. As he had traffic in front of him on that lap, he was able to stitch it together. It looked like he was actually harvesting, but no, he was harvesting when he crossed the line. That'll be an epic cool down lap for the man in pink tonight. But Bear steals away the glory at the final beckoning moment. Muffin Brand now steals it away, maybe for the final time, bumping everybody further back. Bear into second, Reese into third, Green into fourth. Couple retirees from the session now, meaning we're just about to get to that witching hour. Thank you very much for joining us, folks. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's a pleasure to be your host, as always. Taking you from green to checkered flag with just 60 seconds left on the clock for this qualifying run. I don't think anybody else is going to throw down as we see drivers come down pit road now. Manila Man slides in his way into fourth place now, between Bear, Manila Man, and Reese. Green gets one done in the final stages of the qualifying session. 141.161. What it do still out there running as well. See if What It Do can stick it further up the top 10 than where they're sitting now. They've got 3 minutes left to finish up this lap. Now that qualifying is officially over, it looks like the drivers are going to call it quits for now. 2 minutes remaining in the session to close out the session, but I think it's finally done and dusted, folks. The humidity out here is getting to me in the broadcast booth. I had to take off my jacket. I was getting a little bit soaking wet, to say the least. A little bit moist from the moisture in the air even. So feeling it even here despite the conditions being pretty good and covered where I'm at. But still, it will be Papa Green to take us to the checkered flag of the qualifying session and lead us down the Hamilton straight into Abbey for the first time. The official results are in. Papa Green took it away in P1. Muffin Brand in second. Bear in third. Manila Man in fourth. Reese in fifth. McSpeed in sixth. Get Ma in seventh. Buki in eighth. Focal in ninth. Detains in 10th. Seppi in 11th. What It Do. Sulse. It's Dumaine, Ian Mac, FCN, Moza Army, Grunch Munch, Apple CM, and Setsu round out the 20 drivers here to fill up this grid at the wet and hectic Silverstone tonight. As we get ready to get loaded up, I want to take the time to thank you again for watching. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you appreciate the content that we're producing here at the Vortex Racing League. And of course, as always, if you like what you see and you want to get inserted into your sim rig, make sure you check out the Vortex Racing League on Discord or on RaceNet. Racing many times throughout the week casually is this league. But the more serious races with point standings and the broadcast happening on Saturdays at 4 p.m., 4:30 I should say, Pacific Standard Time is when the practice session goes up. Just waiting on the last few drivers to get readied up. And then we have our race control hitting the green button for everybody to get started. It's great to have a dedicated staff here at the Vortex Racing League to be able to control the grid the way we do in such a tricky simulator. But we're wonderful to have an amazing amount of help here with the league, with the broadcast, with the graphics and overlays. Really appreciate everything that the Vortex Racing League has to offer. And I do wonder if the longer we wait, the more, the wetter this session will get. Excuse me. See if we can go over to the Alpine pit wall and hear from the driver who took away pole position.
Before we do anything.
Papa Green, are you there?
Oh, hi. Yes, I'm here.
Hello, another pole position for you, even in these wet
Yes.
conditions, huh?
Yep, just practice makes perfect.
Did you practice under the wet conditions knowing that it was going to be a tricky race tonight?
Actually, no. I haven't played all week, so yeah, this is just me jumping on now.
Nice. So where did you get the practice from?
Just from like previous weeks before. I knew this was going to be the wet race, so I thought like let me, warm up prior. So yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Well,
getting
any
used to it.
plans for the race then? How do you control the field in these conditions?
Just take it nice and easy. There will be carnage because there's no dry line, so just lifting and coasting, saving the fuel for the end of the race.
Copy that. And any advice for your teammate?
Just avoid all the carnage. Try to get as good as the start as you can, and take this first corner wide because there's going to be carnage on the inside.
For sure. Be careful there at Abbey on the race start. Take care, boys.
Thanks.
And that was a quick word with the drivers. It is an amazing feature to be able to hop into the drivers' helmets for just a few minutes and talk to both teammates at the same time. I think Reese was probably plugging himself into race control, as we didn't hear from him or get any static there from race control, so he must have been plugged in away, waiting to get gridded up here at the 18 corner track of Silverstone that was originally a World War II Royal Air Force bomber station, and its original layout is still reflected here in the triangular shape of the former airfield runways. It is, of course, the home of British Motorsports, is known as the home of British Motorsports, and has hosted the British Grand Prix almost every year since the Formula One World Championship began in 1950. Silverstone hosted the first ever inaugural World Championship race on May 13th, 1950, attended by King George VI, making it the first and only F1 race to be graced by a reigning British monarch. And we are officially taking our formation lap, folks. Got a few drivers taking to the automated formation lap. Like we heard from Green, the word of caution to avoid the carnage there at Abbey. Take it nice and wide. Pretty good sound advice, I would think. And we also had the thought of taking it nice and wide coming through comps as well if the field stays tight, which I have a feeling like it might. Excuse me, I just had a sneezing fit. This weather is just getting to me right now. First I was getting overheated due to the humidity. Now I'm getting these sneezing fits. My goodness. I've been in the UK for too long. I'm starting to get a cold from all this overcast weather. Unbelievable. Anyways, looking at the tire compound choice, it's awfully different up and down the grid. Papa Green thinking it's okay to be on those intermediate tires for the race start. Muffin Brand considering the wet tires, Bear on the intermediates as well, Manila Man onto the wets, Reese and McSpeed on the intermediates. Everybody else on the wets except for Dumaine and Moza Army there. Let's get ready to rumble, folks. The red lights are on, and it's green, green, green here at Silverstone. Let's go racing in these wet conditions. It will be a good start for Muffin Brand, but further back, it'll be all those squabbles galore. As it's Bear, McSpeed, and Buki still unsettled. Their three-way debacle right now, and it will be even more of a debacle as the Mercedes of Detains gets involved in that as well. Now the Williams is slow coming out of Antry and down the Wellington Straight, and it will be three wide galore, and McSpeed that carries too much of it going into Brooklands. What it do, keeping it close between himself and Focal, but up at the front, Jet Mao and Detains are awful close as well. Detains falls back to get out in front, the battle for 5th and 6th. Muffin Brand staying within striking distance of Papa Green. Those wet weather tires obviously doing him some good right now. Looks to the inside line here at Stowe, but can't find the daylight there. Falls in single file line. We're thinking that the race laps can go anywhere from 9 to 13 on these tires, so drivers hoping to extend it to the halfway point of this race if it stays under these conditions now. Seppi losing out to What It Do in the battle for 11th and 12th position. Sauce and Dumaine exchanging blows, and it's not quite over just yet. And the hemorrhaging wound is still exposed as Dumaine now battles with Grunch Munch. All this brings out FCN for life, and everybody's going deep and wide. And the Williams is getting squirrely. That'll be Ian Mack now advancing up into 15th place. Battle between Buki. Cautions out in Sector 2. Here's the battle for the lead, still on, very much alive as they come to Maggots and Beckett's. Out of Chapel and down the Hanger Straight we go, leading into Stowe. Muffin Brand can continue to take those very wet lines while Papa Green is avoiding the puddles. And I think this is going to allow a little bit more longevity out of Muffin Brand's tire life. And fast laps keep on getting snatched away by drivers further and further down. And we'll go all the way down to P5. Again, the difference in tire compounds not making a huge difference at this point of the race, but I imagine it will a little further on. Trying to get by Buki. On those wet weather tires, both of them are, you can tell by the blue banding on the sidewalls there. Gets by Buki, just barely a nose ahead though, and he will be able to make that one stick. Things have kind of settled in for the field now. Haven't seen a lot of mistakes, as we were kind of warned in the pre-race chat. I think everybody was jokingly admitting to making mistakes or running off the road, or there being a lot of chaos, but not too much, as Seppi and Sol's exchange positions. We're going to continue the side-by-side run down into club. And a switchback for the Mercedes, though, gets it done on the Aston Martin. Now Sol sits in the rooster tail of Seppi, and the chase down through Abbey. McSpeed chases down Reese in a battle for 10th and 9th position. Reese goes into deep at Cops. Still maintains his track position though. I'm sure he'll get a slowdown, and I think he's taking it right here through Maggots and Beckett's, backing up McSpeed now. One of the closest battles on track, other than the Bear Detains battle, as Papa Green snatches back that fast lap. Here comes Bear on Detains to the inside line, coming out of club onto the Hamilton straightaway, and it'll still be Detains in the lead of Bear for now. McSpeed still trying to stay in touching distance of Reese out in front, and I don't think we're going to get the DRS activated anytime soon, folks. The drag reduction system typically only opens up during safe conditions for racing. Oh no, what happened to Bear? And what's happened to Focal? Detains Buki? Pit stops already on lap 6. Now I knew something was awry. Now are these drivers, these are majority of the drivers that were on intermediates. Now things are changing up, but FCN for Life gets a speeding penalty down pit road. Now you can definitely see the dry line has formed up. So maybe those on the wets are losing ground to those on the intermediates, as now I believe there's a safety car called, as there is cautions being waved all along the track now. This might be a virtual safety car. No, as the penalties come out, we are under a real safety car. And drivers are getting speeding penalties for that. And wonder what's going on here between Gitma and Bear. As my goodness, what is happening between Git and Manila Man? Bear had to brake so hard. He went straight off the track. And now both drivers come down pit lane. Like I said, unsure of what happened there. Green and Muffin Brand both come down pit road before they get picked up by the official safety car. And Bear, who stays out on his 6th lap old intermediates, will inherit the lead of the race, it seems. There is the safety car picking up the leaders now. Everybody going over the intermediate tires now. Only a few drivers deciding to stay out from the race start tire that they were given. It'll be Dumaine, Moza Army, McSpeed, and Bear staying on those 6 lap old intermediates. Everybody else on a fresh new compound. Coughing, sneezing fits, hay fever. I've got it all here in the UK. And we're definitely getting our taste of UK weather here tonight at Silverstone. 8 laps of running so far, and it hasn't been smooth sailing for any of the drivers yet. Costly mistakes being made by nearly half the field for speeding under the safety car period. Setsu, unfortunately, being the first driver to call it a night, taking the DNF of the race. We'll go back to the pit garage and head back to the trailer before we head off to the next track. Taking a look at that calendar again, it will be Great Britain that we're at tonight. Spa-Francorchamps next, then Zandvoort following that. Mexico City, Las Vegas, LaSalle, and then Yas Marina, Abu Dhabi to finish off the calendar. It'll be an epic 15-round championship. Looks like the lights are still on for the safety car. Obviously didn't go down pit road that time. So it'll probably stay behind the safety car for 1 or 2 more laps, which Bear couldn't be more pleased about, as that helped him get to that lap 13 mark that he's trying to get to cover off all of the rest of the pit stoppers. Lap 13 being so important because it's the halfway point of this race. Meaning if he can make it on lap 13 on one set, he can do it for another set of tires if the conditions remain the same, hopefully. Positions lost and gained there, mostly resulting in the drivers that have not pit stop versus have pit stop. Beautiful shots here from the great Silverstone circuit. And as we come through Maggots and Beckett's, the corner here takes its name from Maggots Moor, an area of land near the circuit. It's an old name that likely dates back to medieval times. The exact origin of the name Maggots isn't entirely clear, but it's believed to be related to a local field or moorland area with this quirky title. Looks like there was a collision that we missed in the background with What It Do, unfortunately. But the safety car will be in this lap, it looks like. Drivers who have taken the pit stop versus those that have not. Everybody onto those intermediate tires, and we shoot out of club onto the Hamilton straight into Abbey. It will be a single file restart for us, and it's a good looking start. Speeding in pit lane penalty for What It Do, a couple of drive-throughs, a couple of 10-second penalties being thrown out as well. Moza Army getting a 3-second penalty for cutting the track. That one was a surprise to see. Bear leads in front of Green. Again, Green on the brand new intermediate tires versus Bear's old set. So closes down tremendously under braking for comps, but goes in too deep, leaving himself compromised potentially to the guys behind. That'll be Muffin Brand and Buki now. It's Bear, Papa Green, Muffin Man, all in single file line, all within a second of each other for now. See how much that dry line has formed up from just 10 laps of running. Those lap times keep on trickling in very quickly. Sedsu and Apple CM now falling out of flavor now. Both of them taking DNFs from this event. And it looks like something's happened to Focal. He's coming down pit road, it looks like. And there's a move from Papa Green on Bear. Was the battle for the lead. Now settled in down pretty quick. Papa Green in front of Bear. Muffin Brand wanting to find a better podium spot than P3, I could imagine. And he knows he has the advantage as well, as Brand clearly the weaker of the two links, and looks like Muffin Brand gets that one done without too much negotiation. Now Buki, however, should be able to put up a fight with Bear in front. Reese and Detains exchange blows for 8th and 9th. Reese gets by Detains there in that recovery drive. Papa Green snatches away another fast lap of the event, but Reese steals it away swiftly. 143.5 that last time around. Here's It's Dumaine. And he's got Sols and Seppi right in front. The Aston Martin and the Mercedes in 10th place, holding on to that coveted points-paying position. FCN for Life tumbles out of order into 16th place now. Here's the battle between Dumaine and Sols. If Sols makes a mistake, will be Dumaine able to get by McSpeed and Get, and the Haas exchange positions as well. That's 5th and 6th position now. Again, no drag reduction system here tonight, folks. Not able to assist the drivers out with their slipstream. Have to do it the hard way. Apple CN dropping out of the race. Papa Green 142.7 that time around. So the track is definitely picking up pace, that's for sure. Sols sitting behind Dumaine in front. There it is, the pit window being open for lap 9 to about lap 15. We're in the window healthily now on lap 13. So this is when we're going to see Bear come down into the pits. Bear coming down the Wellington straight. Nope, the hanger straight, excuse me. And now will actually not come down pit road. Decides to stay out another lap or two. I truly don't see the advantage in doing that. Unless you're hoping for another safety car to come out. That's the only thing I can think of. But unless you're hearing any chatter, I don't know why. Let's see if we can talk to Bear in the Williams team. Is anybody there on the Williams wall?
Yo.
Hey,
Yeah,
how
Bear.
is it going, boys?
Oh, I'm in a battle at the moment, so
Okay, I will
Yeah,
shut
I'm
up
trying
and
to stay on
watch.
the podium here. Try and secure my first podium.
that's some breathing space.
Oh no. Ian, do you know if Bookie fitted at all?
I can't see. I'm so far from him. I can actually see him in lineups. I'm behind Garamond at the moment.
Bookie has pit already.
There's a detail.
And Buki just ran so deep there. Now Bear is free and clear. Let's see if I can get a word with him now. Okay, we'll leave them alone for now, but I wanted to hear what was going on with them. And it sounds like Buki was in ultra focus mode there. Or excuse me, Bear was in ultra focus mode right now. Buki is obviously in ultra focus mode. Let's see if we can check in with the Aston wall as well. I'm just here to listen.
Hello, hi.
Hello! I didn't want to distract you from your battles. I'm sorry.
Don't worry.
How are you doing, Sauce?
Yeah, good. Try to survive out here.
Very tricky conditions, yes?
Yeah, very tricky.
How has your race been so far?
Yeah, good. I started 14, now I'm 11. I'm feeling good, confident.
And good battles with Seppi, Detains.
And the domain.
Yes, and Dumaine.
Yeah, but domain I think just defeated.
Yes, he did. So he's falling down the order now. Do you have a pit stop strategy?
For the moment I will go in the end with this, with the one stop.
Surprise! Okay. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Surprise, surprise to hear from Sos going with the one stop. Now, when did he stop last? He's already on 10-lap old tires at this point. Bear and McSpeed come down pit road as McSpeed sets his fastest of the session as well. Here's a shot from pit exit now. It'll be a fresh set of boots for Detains, who's only got to carry it 9 more laps to make it to the end, but he's got to do all the work on the pavement now. Now it's interesting to me that some drivers are clearly going for the one stop, while others are clearly going or have accepted the two-stop strategy. I think those drivers that are on those 10-lap old tires, 11-lap old tires are going to be begging for mercy at the end. I think it's Bear and McSpeed might be able to pick up the pieces as the race goes on. Let's keep an eye on these deltas. It's 3.3 seconds now to Detains, and it's quickly dropping like a stone. Ian Mack trying to get around Grunch Munch ahead of him. Unable to do so on the run down through Brooklands. Bear closes down his gap for 8th place and 7th. Looking good right now for a top 10 solidification now. Well, he looks at the inside line. He sure does. Awfully dangerous maneuver, but made it securely. While Detains is going to try to challenge back. I think he just doesn't have it left in the tank. Muffin Brand also closes his down on Papa Green in front. 4/10 the gap separating the duo right now. Expands all the way to 8/10 very quickly as Papa Green lights the fuse underneath his seat, pulls out the jetpack. Bear again with the attacks, had a 2-second gap to Manila Man, instantly slaughtered that. Now he's got a 16-second gap he needs to muster down to get by Manila Man. Now Bear on Manila Man now. Dangerous on entry, closes down the gap at Abbey. Through Farm is where he'll get the move done and dusted, hopefully. But no, not quite yet. This is losing him a tremendous amount of time. The laps are ticking away and the seconds are piling up against Bear now. Mailman continues to stay defensive in the Red Bull car, forcing Bear to drive onto the dry line, and it will be an overtake attempt at Cops. The inside line was open. Now the run into Maggots and Beckett's leave them single file line, but Bear is still bobbing and weaving, trying to find any gap to get around. Now it'll be a mistake for Bear behind the Red Bull of Manila Man in front that causes the gap to open up yet again. Bear's got to shake it off, get back within spitting distance, and try again. Papa Green loses the position with a mistake on this run coming out of entry. And Muffin Brand is through for the lead of this event right now. This is the battle for the lead of the event. We don't want to take our eyes peeled off of it yet, as any minor mistakes can allow Buki to take the win as well. He's within a second of the leaders right now. Here goes Bear, but here goes the leaders, and it looks like Papa Green's trying to find a way around Muffin Brand, and he makes that one stick at Stowe. Oh, and a big moment there for Buki in the background, who's trying to secure his podium right now. Muffin Brand in the Haas behind. Papa Green in front, both on 15-lap old intermediates. 3/10 separates Buki from Muffin Brand on the Halo camera. Brand, Buki, Papa Green making the mistake now. Accordions them all up together. Defensive line from the Haas. SD Buki trying to find the daylight there, but can't exist. Side by side battle in front between the Haas and the Alpine will settle down in an over-under from the Haas, trying to get executed, and a wiggle on exit from the Alpine BWT machine. The big look from the Haas behind. Muffin Brand trying to scare Papa Green into a potential mistake, but not this time around. The chase from the Haas behind. Yellow brought out in sector 2. Papa Green goes wide at Cops. That's going to allow the Haas through, or will it? No! Papa Green carries the momentum through the fast right-hander and stays in the lead somehow. There goes through the leader, Muffin Brand on Papa Green, who's wide again, this time at Stowe. And this time it'll be Muffin Brand making the mistake, allowing Papa Green to get a wheel along the inside, and it'll be a mountain of the painted white curbing that'll unsettle the Haas back into P2. Bear still trying to challenge Manila Man out in front, but it's just not working. Manila Man has been the cork in the bottle and has just been a thorn in Bear's side, or a thorn in the Bear's paw, you could say. No, hold your applause, please. Thank you. I know, that was hilarious. Hold your applause till after the show for the drivers' interviews. Papa Green in the lead of this event on lap 24. He hasn't led us every single lap, but he might take the checkered flag from being in the lead at the start of this event. He's battling with the P5 Haas, going through on the entry to Club out of Vale. And it will be P4 for the man in pink. Muffin Brand got within striking distance of Papa Green out in front. Couldn't make it work. Coming through the loop and entry now. down the Wellington Straight into Brooklands. Lap 25 of 26. Oh, that's a big slide for Papa Green and a wiggle on exit as he overheats the tires. But it won't be enough to close down the gap, but it will be enough for Buki to close down the gap on Muffin Brand, who's going to get his elbows out and try to shut the door, but Buki slid out a little bit, resulting in contact. And that might just be a driving incident there, but Buki gets it done on the penultimate lap. Coming across the start-finish line now. This will be the white flag lap. There goes Muffin Brand with a look on Buki, but he can't quite make it work. A little bit of traffic ahead now. Should be the Williams driver of Ian Mack, who will stay out of the way of the leaders. Oh no, he will not stay out of the way of the leaders. That will be Muffin Brand getting collected in that incident and getting a 10-second time penalty for it. That's not fair. That's not fair. I will just be the first to admit that. Papa Green, though, coming through Maggots and Beckett's now unscathed. That'll shake up the order to be an Alpine 1-3 now. As long as Reese doesn't do that and make a huge mistake coming out of Maggots and Beckett's in Chapel, promoting the Haas into 3-4 and Reese back down. No, he's back up. No, he's back down. Muffin Brand battling with Reese. Muffin Brand wants to settle this one on the racetrack, not in the steward's room with that 10-second time penalty attached to his name. Papa Green will take the win tonight. SD Buki in second. Get in third. Reese in fourth. Muffin Brand in fifth. Bear with a commanding result in sixth. Got by McSpeed and McNillaman at the very end there. Seventh and eighth belong to them respectfully. Detains, Souls, Focal, What It Do, Seppi, It's Dumaine, FCN, Ian Mack, Grunch Munch, and Moza Army, rounding out the 18 drivers that wrapped it up with us. Let's go over to the Alpine wall and talk to them. Anybody here on the Alpine wall?
Yep.
Green, how did your race go?
Yes.
Nice win for you.
Yeah, thank you. It was rough. The last 10 laps, the tires were just gone, so I was just sliding around everywhere. But other than that, it was pretty good.
Now, what's with the decision to not want to split the race in half? Nobody wanted to go in on lap 13. Everybody went in when the safety car was called. Was that an opportunity strikes decision, or what was the decision behind that?
Yeah, it was just an opportunity decision. So because I knew everyone was gonna box for inters under the safety car, so I was like, I don't really want to be on old tires. It's see with Bear, he was on older tires, and we all boxed in. That's why everyone overtook. So, yeah.
Right. Bear was extremely strong though in that second stint. He was looking really
Very
promising, but just got bottled up by a battle with Manila Man. He just couldn't get by him.
Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty good. It was a good battle, though, between them two.
Great battle between them, that's for sure. Any final words as the race victor?
Thank you for everyone that was watching, and yeah, just ready to see some more.
Right on. Reese, any words from the league manager and owner?
I had a little bump there.
Yeah, it was a great result for you after unfortunate event at the start of the race. Climbed your way back up into even P3 before making that final mistake at Maggots and Beckett's that tumbled you back down the order to fourth. Don't worry, we saw that, Reese. We saw that. Talk to you later, guys. We'll wrap up the stream.
Yep.
Good luck.
All right, thank you.
And unfortunately, we aren't going to get official results, it seems. I apologize, folks. Well, thank you very much for joining us, everybody. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's been a pleasure to take you from green to checkered flag, from start to finish. I'm your host, Sagar Bakshi, aka The Real High. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. If you want to join in on the Vortex Racing League action, make sure you get installed into your sim rig and check out the Vortex Racing League. Have a great night, and as always, make sure you stay safe out there. Bye-bye for now.
Turn us to thousands.